Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. So, I want to start this video out this way and then I'll shift into some realizations I had a little bit earlier today. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, there was and is a series of teachings that God sent to me, gave to me, and taught to me. They are the lost teachings, for sure. The sad part is nobody wants to hear it. For the very few people who have actually came in and taken the 5-day course, it is changed their lives. It is life altering. It is destiny altering. It changes their entire trajectory. The consistent word that I hear from people, and I mean on a weekly basis, is how come these people don't teach this? How come I've never read this in a book? How come I've never heard this from anybody else, from a pastor, a minister, from Tony Robbins, from personal development coaches, from life coaches? Like, how come no one's talking about this? I've had people that were worth hundreds of millions of dollars fly in to see me and tell me the same thing. Like, well, why aren't the relationship experts teaching this? I don't understand. Like, if they were to teach this, people would heal their relationships. And the short answer is they don't know that they don't know. Their intentions are very well. They're very good people, very good-hearted people, and they do have a lot of really good skills. But when it comes to this very specific thing about helping men and women to understand each other, to actually understand love and compassion, it's a very, very challenging thing to teach this to people. One of the other things that I hear a lot, and even on my channel very recently in the last few days and last week and the week before, is a lot of people will come to me and say, you know, I've been following narcissist abuse channels, or I've been learning personal development for years now, and the way you explain it makes it so clear. So I do have a gift when it comes to teaching people in a way that their brain, that their system understands. It was amplified by the teachings we learn in NLP. There's a final 5-week course called Trainer's Training, and the whole training is learning how do you teach this stuff in a way that each individual person can relate to, can understand, they can see it, they can hear it, they can feel it, and it'll make sense to them. It has to be taught in a way that you learn, in a way that you receive and understand. And this is a gift that I have mastered. I'm really, really good at working with people to where their brain clicks and they're like, oh, and it shifts everything. Okay, so I want to get to what I've been trying to explain in the last 2.5-3 minutes. Everything that I've been teaching you guys, 100% of everything that I've been teaching you guys over the last 4+ years about narcissist abuse, about personal development, about love, about reconnecting with yourself, emotional grounding, everything that I've been teaching you, guess where it came from? First of all, some of the teachings and understanding, very specifically came directly from God. Now I'm making a bigger point here, a bigger picture. I'm trying to explain something. Now, over the years, I've been shoved, I have been tricked, I have been had open doors open wide open that I thought I can't afford that. That's way out of my range. There's just no way I'm going to be able to take that course. There's just no way. And boom, the money came, the door opened, and next thing you know, I'm taking these elite trainings around the world. One of the teachings, or for me, maybe not for you. It is kind of injected into the trainings. Is I happened to go to a junior college, even though I went to Arizona State and Chico State. I ended up going to this junior college that had this really elite speech teacher, coach, professor, whatever you want to call her. Her name is Janine. I just forgot her last name. This lady was top gun, top of her field. She kind of intimidated me. In fact, she did intimidate me quite a bit. There was kind of an uncomfortableness there. But she took me, someone who wouldn't take speech class in high school. And I knew I was going to have to take it if I wanted to get a college degree. So I figured, well, I'll just do it in college. And she just kind of yanked me out of, she saw me in the hallway. It's like, hey, I want you to take this class. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not very good at that. So I took speech 1 from her, Janine Whitesell. And in between semesters, you had to actually go to the class to see what books you had to buy in the course syllabus. And so I was in this hallway. It was kind of dark. It was after 5. The main lights were turned off. And she caught me, and she's like, hey, I want you to be on the argument and debate team. I was like, hell no. There's no way I could do that. I'm too shy, too intimidated. She says, no. I think you would be surprised. I really think, I think you're going to do really, really well. So she actually used an NLP trick, or a technique, I should say. It's not a trick. And because I said, well, I don't like to argue. I go, honestly, I walk away from arguments. I don't like to do it, and I'm not going to do it. So she used the applied to self technique. And essentially, she just literally applied what I said back to me. She said, oh, well, if you don't like to argue, then you have to take the course. And I remember. Now, I caught this right after we did it. But I looked at her, I'm like, what? Because, boy, did that catch my attention. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, oh, well, argument and debate class, it teaches you how to recognize when people are starting arguments with you. I'm like, really? She goes, yes. And it also teaches you when people are using, how did she say this? I'm going to use it this way. Maybe it'll come to me, but false arguments. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She goes, well, have you ever had a conversation with someone where they started one argument, and then when you started to win it, they would shift to another one? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, let's say, you said, hey, man, it's your turn to do the dishes this week. And they're like, well, yeah, but you didn't clean the bathroom last night, and you're supposed to clean the bathroom. She goes, that's shifting arguments. She goes, do you want to learn how to stop that? I'm like, yeah. She goes, then sign up for the course. She goes, I'll see you on Monday. The minute she walked away, I was like, oh, I know that technique. We learned it in NLP. It's for a therapeutic reason to help people break through their own limitations, blah, blah, blah. So, but I thought it worked, and I respected it. So I ended up going to her class, and it was one of the best things that I did. Because, okay, so a couple weeks into the semester, she had said, Michael, I want you to meet us at lunch. A group of us are getting together to, I forget the word for it, damn it. It's essentially where you're given a topic and you're given 5 minutes, or sometimes it's 3 minutes, and you've got to write down bullet points really fast, and then you got to do an argument and debate. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. And so what happened was she was just show up for a couple of days, just watch us, pay attention to how we're doing it, and then actually do it on a 3x5 card and just see how well you would have done without actually standing up in front of the class. So while 2 other people were giving their topics to argue, they were given 3 to 5 minutes to write the bullet points down. She goes, I want you to do it too, and just so you can understand the pattern and what we're doing. And by the way, I'm doing it right now with you, and I'll explain that. It's essentially the same thing that Moses did when he went and when God sent him to talk to Pharaoh to free my people. See, what a lot of people, Christians I should say, people that read the Bible, went to church, that they didn't know, because it's usually not emphasized unless you really take a look at it. Moses had a really, really bad stuttering problem. He could barely talk. I mean, it was bad. And Moses says to God, you want me to go to Pharaoh, but I can't talk. And God said, I'll speak through you. So I'm in this class. It was on your own free lunch break, so it wasn't an actual class, but it was a place to practice this technique. And after about 3 or 4, 5 days, I was like, and Janine says, Michael, do you want to try this? And everyone's like, come on, just try it. There's nothing to lose. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And so then we did it, and then I had a certain amount of time. And here's how I started. You had to write down the topic, and then you had to write down 3 to 5 main bullet points, and then under each of those bullet points, you had to write down 3 to 5 more, bullet points to each of those that you were trying to prove. So I remember the first time I did it, I was writing sentences, paragraphs, and when I stood up, I looked at my notes and I read it off verbatim without ever looking up. Meaning I had way too many notes. It was really supposed to be a title, subject, and then 3 to 5 bullet points, literally a word or a phrase, maybe a sentence. That's actually too much. And then quick thoughts underneath, like 1 or 2 or 3 words, a phrase, etc. That was it. And she said, Michael, you're going to have to work on that because you can't just read it off like you're reading a book. I was like, okay. She goes, just have a little faith in yourself. Same thing God said to Noah. So I came the next week every day, Monday through Friday, and I competed every day, or with my classmates, and former classmates were allowed to come back too, actually. And she actually had obviously other classes that she had. She didn't just teach one argument debate class, and she had the debate team as well. So what ended up happening was I got it down to where I could do the subject title and then 3 to 5 bullet points, and generally that was it. I didn't actually have to fill in bullet points underneath the main bullet points. It would be like 1, 2, or 3 words under the main bullet points, if that, 3 bullet points, okay? So I got really good at just knowing the subject. These were subjects that were brand new, that were just like picked out of a hat. Okay, this is your subject, go. So I don't mean like I understood the subject before I got them, because nobody knows what you're going to get before you get it. So I got so good at it that she could give me the subject, pull it out of the hat or whatever she was, I forget, maybe it was a sack, something. She was pulling it out of something. And I could write down the title of the subject and then put 1, 2, 3 bullet points, and that was it. I didn't have to put anything underneath it. And I would just go, and it would just pour out from my heart. I won every single competition, not only in that but practice classroom, but also when we went out and traveled to different schools, and schools came to us in actual competitions. Now here's what it taught me. To have a direction, a goal in mind, it's like an image. That's literally, it's like, here's the picture. You have to explain this picture, every piece of it, and put it together in a way that everyone's going to understand it. When I said I'm doing that right now, that's literally what I do on every single video. If you're standing next to me right now, I have no notes. I have written nothing down. Nothing. There's no bullet point. There's nothing. There's not even a pen or a piece of paper on my table. So because of that, it taught me a very useful skill on how to break things down. And all I'm doing is like this lion. Okay, I'm going to talk about this lion. The colors, the size, the shape, like everything, its ears, its nose, its whiskers. I'm just going to break this down, and I'm going to explain it. There is zero thinking. And that's what God was telling Moses. See, people just stutter is because they're trying to think about every single word and the word after that. And they have to stop, think. And it's like, that's why they stutter. Thinking just gets in your way. God was telling Moses to let go of your forehead thinking and drop down into your heart and have faith. Faith literally means opening up to your heart and just speak whatever comes up. Whatever words come up to your mouth, let them out. So, this video is about something that's very, 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 very important to me. It is my heart, it is my soul, it is everything. And it's what the narcissist went after. Because it will change the world. Oh, that's nice, Mike. That sounds so sweet. I'm not kidding. It will impact the entire planet. So many people have tried to stop me. I mean, okay, I'll give you an example. So Google and YouTube, Facebook and Instagram would not let me advertise on the platforms because they said that this picture was XXX rated sexual nudity. And this was the flagship image for my entire website. And because of this image, they said that I was selling adult sex toys, which I've never sold in my life. I would call them, I would contact them, I would email Facebook, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You can get in a live chat with them during the chat box. Oh, well, look at this image. I mean, she's completely naked. I'm like, she's not naked at all. What are you talking about? They don't want you to get this information, and there's a reason behind it. It's everything that we've been battling. They don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to see the truth. Now let's take my Cracked Female Codebook. This is the flagship for my entire course, especially for men. They said that this book was XXX rated and you're not allowed to use it, blah, 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 blah. Now this battle went on for years. So I hired a web designer who said, look, I'm going to fix this. We'll figure this out. Now here's what she did. She designed this book. She goes, we're not going to use any images, so they can't say, oh, this image is sexual rated nudity, because there is no image. So she goes, we're just going to use white lettering on a gold background. And we redesigned my entire website. This was a few years back. So this is the second book. We thought, well, there's nothing they can say about this. They can't say I can't advertise this. Guess what they said? Oh, this is offensive. These words will offend people. Every woman's battle, the need for love and emotional fulfillment? Well, it was quite obvious that they were, what's the word I'm looking for? Love is not something that they want society to understand. See, we are being brainwashed on a regular daily basis. Remember the cartoons Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all that stuff back in the 70s and 80s, etc.? There is XXX rated pornography in there. When I went through my spiritual awakening when I was 28 years old, I was like, what the hell? And I try to point out, people are like, what are you talking about? We are so brainwashed that this is going on right in front of our faces to our children, and it was done to us too. Now my father had came over, driven up from Mountain View. It's about an hour and a half drive, and I went to my sister's because she had some kids and he wanted to meet them. Now I didn't see my father much at this point in time, but he made a very rare visit. And we were just sitting down and we ate lunch, and Amber and everyone was in the kitchen, and we were sitting on the couch watching TV, and a cartoon came on. We're just sitting there, just really doing nothing. We're tired. And all of a sudden, like, it was like real XXX rated. I'm like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? And my dad said something. He goes, oh yeah, that's been going on for years. And I looked, I go, wait, you can see it? So he wanted to avoid the discussion because it's really hard to be in a world, especially back then, when nobody was awake. A lot of you think you're awake. You're not what I call awake, where you just see. And he got up, walked out of the apartment, and I go, Dad, I have to talk, because like I had no one because everyone was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make sense. And they'd say, yeah, I can see it, but I think you're reading into it. And then it wasn't until like these different movies came out, like The Matrix, and then there was another movie where the guy it was the movie called Obey. It was kind of a cult classic. And that kind of started coming around, like people were like, yeah, it sounds like that movie you're talking about. And then it was The Matrix. And then there was another movie that came out, like, Michael, all that stuff you were telling us 2 years ago, it's exactly like what this movie is saying. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's real. Another thing that happened about 2 or 3 years ago was you get a Google business page. All you have to do is fill it out, etc. And all of a sudden, boom, they turned it off. It had been up for years. So every time you go to upload an image, text, whatever, a link to your blog, they have to okay it. They have to verify everything. So it goes through a verification process. And it usually takes 24 hours or whatever, 2 days, who cares? And I hadn't touched it in probably 2 years. And boom, I get a notification in my email saying, hey, yeah, we shut this down. And I said, well, why? What happened? They're like, well, read the rules. So I reread the rules. I'm thinking that, is there a new rule change? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with it. So then I took it to someone else that I know it's in business, and they're like, I can't see anything wrong with it. And so then I went back to Google, and we had this real long back and forth, and they wouldn't tell me. And so I got Shopify involved, and I got one of their supervisors, and that's what part of what they do. At least at the time, I don't know if they do it anymore. But she contacted my representative at Google and said, "Hey, what's going on here? Like, why are we having a problem with this?" And he goes, "Well, Google made a new rule, and you're not allowed to sell digital products online anymore." And I'm like, what? That's what Apple does every day. That's what music companies do. That's what they, and so I contacted my sake. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean you're not allowed to sell digital products? Like, what do you mean? Like pictures? Like, no, anything. Music, pictures, audio, video, anything. And including PDF books. So that's where they got me. They're saying, oh, you're not allowed to sell PDF books on your website. I'm like, because I said, but I don't sell anything on my Google business page. What are you talking about? Well, yeah, but that's connected to your website, and therefore you're representing us. I'm like, I'm not representing Google or YouTube. What are you talking about? So it was this huge argument, and I finally just gave up because it was like they had it out for me. And here's the thing. I went to the Apple store, and I said, so you guys aren't allowed to sell any music online anymore, huh? They're like, we sell music every day. What are you talking about? No. Google told me they made a new rule about 9 months ago, and that's illegal and you're not allowed to do it. Like, no, we've been selling online digital products forever. So now I'm going to wrap this all the way back around to the first 5 to 8, 10 minutes of this video. Where do you think I got the teachings, the understandings about narcissist abuse that I've been putting on my videos right here on this channel, YouTube, for the last 4 years? And why do you think I can see so much in the world? So one of the things we know about narcissist abuse is their number one agenda, their number one tactic, their number one weapon, their number one tool is to divide and conquer, to separate you from yourself, to separate your left brain from your right brain, and also to separate you from your spouse, your wife, your husband, your children, your neighbors, somebody across the street who has a different eye color, someone who down the street has a different hair color, someone who looks different, someone who thinks different, someone who went to a different college than you. It's all about division, so they can conquer you and control you. And here I come along and I teach you how to reconnect with yourself, how to ground yourself emotionally, how to see with clarity, how to find clarity, how to open your mind, how to open your heart, how to be in the world in this way. I teach clarity. How many of you on this channel have posted on my channel at one point in time? I don't understand why you don't have more subscribers. I don't understand why you don't have more views. I've had this channel since 2009. I've hired people who, oh, let me do the SEO. We'll get you more subscribers. We'll get you more views, more, etc. Either my channel really sucks, or I've been what's called gray listed. Now, they don't stop you, but they don't actually put you up in front of other people. So the course that I teach teaches people how to open up to the heart, to find that open space of clarity, to not come from judgment, to not come from the either or, right or wrong, judgment, constant right or wrong, either or, to let go of that and to just be in the present moment so you can be with other people and enjoy their company. It's all about love. And there's another piece I want to throw in here. So the reason why I brought up the cartoons, and I could bring up all from the news to movies to all kinds of things that are influencing people. There have been waves of agenda or agendas being thrown at us over the last 4, 5, 6 plus decades. And We are taught to get mad at the opposite sex, to not understand the opposite sex. And here's the other thing. The true teachings were hidden from you. You were blocked. You were taught that the opposite sex is your enemy. It has been hundreds, thousands of years in action. But men and women they view each other with absolute blindness, not knowing that they don't know that they don't know, having no clue that there's something to know. The reason why a narcissist attacked you is because, let's say you're a woman and you like men. Well, you're going to get a narcissist one after another, and they're going to attack you, they're going to hurt you, and they're going to make you to the point where, as a lot of you on my channel have said to me, oh, I don't want to have nothing to do with dating anymore. I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. And they won. Love, communication, and understanding are gone. And that is what my course is all about. You won't find it in any other teaching out there. Most courses, including psychology classes, they teach you rules. They're the wrong rules. And they'll hurt you. And they'll destroy your relationship. There's zero understanding. I know because I went through it. What you were supposed to be taught and shown was love and understanding. One of the things I tell people or women, is when men try to love you, it offends you. It hurts you and wounds you deeply emotionally. Because you don't understand. That's his way of expressing his love. What men don't understand is why is it that whenever they try to love you, you get hurt. You get mad. You get angry at him. You attack him. You yell at him. So what does he do? He tries harder to love you in what I'm going to call the male way, the male strategy. And I come and go, no, you're hurting her. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm expressing my love. And they're doing it from their deepest depths of their heart. But the way that men offer love is not the way women receive love. She can't receive it in that way. It's not physically and literally neurologically possible. You're going the wrong way. It's like you're stabbing her with a knife and you don't even know it. But let me tell you something. When women finally understand the way that men express their love, they're like, oh, he does that all the time. So he does love me. And when men understand that the external penetrating push, buy things, buy money, cars, diamonds, that she doesn't fall madly in love and she actually gets pissed, he's like, I work my ass off for that woman. But the way she sees it is, yeah, you're gone, you're never around, you don't care for me because you're doing overtime now because you don't love me, because you don't even want to be around me. And men are like, no, I'm working an extra 6 months and being away from you for 6 months so I can buy you this external thing. There's no emotions in things, in stones, in rings, and rocks. There's no feelings, there's no heart, there's no emotions. But ladies, men aren't doing this because they're lazy. They're actually physically working, going to jobs, saving their money, doing everything in their power to buy you this, because that's the way a man expresses his love. But there's nothing connected to it. What I do is I teach men how to connect their emotions and feelings and love through communication, through words, into that rose, that diamond ring, that car. So you can connect with his heart and his soul and his emotions. So you can have clarity between each other. Meaningful communication. So you can bond on a deeper, more emotionally fulfilling level. Now here's the shocker. Where do you think I got the understandings of narcissist abuse in this way, on this level, so you can finally heal your heart and your emotions and move on in life? Where do you think I got all this knowledge about narcissist abuse that I've been laying out in my channel for the last 4 years? It was designed and developed in my course, Crack the Female Code, to help men learn how to open up to the right brain, to teach men how to drop down inside and speak the internal language, to understand the difference between left brain communication and right brain communication, to understand the difference between male language, you say A and you mean A and that's all you mean, nothing else, versus you say A, but you mean something deeper, more meaningful, symbolically right brain language. In my course for men, Crack the Female Code, there's a lot of biblical teachings in there, because a lot of the teachings between the left brain and the right brain, between male and female, between men and women, are in the Bible. What I'm trying to explain to you is the teachings are there, you just can't see them. You haven't seen them yet. And when people come to me and say, well, how did you learn this stuff about narcissist abuse, or, to break it down and explain it in this way? The foundation of everything that I teach about narcissist abuse comes directly, not partially, directly from my course, Crack the Female Code. They are the same exact teachings. It's been one hell of a gift for God to send to me. Everything is about love and compassion. In my course, the 3 words I like to use is love, communication, and understanding. And all of that comes from an open, expansive compassion. Why do you think the majority of my subscribers are women? It's the languaging, the communication, it's the way I'm communicating it from my body versus my mind versus thinking. You guys know how I keep talking about my course, the internal awareness, emotionally grounding course about letting go? That is the number one thing that I coach to men in my course, Crack the Female Code. 100% of it. And men have almost zero, what's the word I'm looking for, understanding or appreciation for it. They don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to them. No, Mike, I got to go work more hours. I got to work 70 hours a week so I can make more money, so I can save money, so I can buy a bigger car, a bigger house, a bigger diamond ring. Guys, that's not love. Compassion and open, spacious awareness, now that's love. As women say, communicating from your heart, meaning opening up to your right brain, dropping your awareness down inside your chest and your belly area, that's love. The internal way is the way to a woman's heart. It's also the way you connect with God. God's not stupid. God knows that the love of a woman, the love for a woman, will drive a man to find himself eventually one day. He'll break down and eventually he'll find God through seeking the way to love a woman. Because it's the same exact way to find God. Through your heart. By opening up from the left brain and opening up to the right brain and connecting with your body internally in yourself, you find God. As Christ said, look within. The body is the temple of the Lord. As Christ said to the centurion or the soldier, love. Love is the fulfillment of all the commandments, not rules. Now do you understand? My course is what built the foundation for my coaching in narcissist abuse. God's smart. God knows what he's doing. See, I don't walk around thinking at all. A lot of people, so like doing this NLP stuff, do you constantly judge people like a psychologist? No, not at all. In fact, that's completely gone. That's one of the greatest teachings of NLP. I walk around in this open, expanded compassion, awareness. I don't feel sorry for people. I don't walk around and look at me, oh, highly me, egotistically compassionate me, I'm so compassionate. No, I just walk around through life. I just want to feel good. Alright, here's what I'm trying to say. The simplicity of it, that's what I'm trying to express. I just open up. I just walk around like that. So you receive things, you can hear people better, you can understand people better, you can have a greater awareness. It's just one thing. It's like, I think I got an image, hold on. This is what I mean. I just walk around in an open, expanded way, and energy flows, their awareness flows, understanding people, having, being in tune, okay, versus this. Hold on. Most humans do this. They connect forehead to forehead or heart to heart. You are not supposed to do that. This is energy draining, and this is literally the old slave master, control master way. This is not what I do. This also limits you to that tiny little bit of information in your forehead. And this is how narcissists drain your energy and control you. They lock onto your forehead and jerk you around. And this, like the first image, is how you let go of that. So a narcissist can't lock on, okay? All of this is taught in my internal awareness class. This right here is how two people should interact with each other. This is a healthy way. You're in your own space and you allow them to be in their own space. You don't space invade. You don't control. You don't lock on. You just allow your awareness to expand to your space and you allow them to be in their own space. That's it. If you have followed this channel long enough, you will notice, like, yeah, Mike's actually talked about this image and that last image, or the last two images, a lot. If I didn't mention it, I teach this, and now here's the thing. Okay, I could show you an image too, this is how you're supposed to be. What I do, though, in the course is I teach you how to do this. So there's two courses. The one is the internal awareness course. Anyone can take that. We can do it over the phone, we can do it in person, or we can do it in a group. Now here's the funny thing. Guys think it's all about buying things or saying a cool thing, an opener or a line. That's the fastest way to kill a relationship, by the way. Is they don't understand, like, well, what does this have to do with anything? I think, God, the level of attraction. See, I usually use the word seduction because men are looking like, I want to get the girl. It's in our caveman brain. It turns us on. I want to get her. Well, there's a better way to get her than forcefully. And I don't mean just physically, but I mean mentally trying to force someone, trick someone, get them to go on a date with you. Like, no. You want to open up to this spatial way of being. This attracts her to you naturally. Because men don't do this. And this is what makes her feel comfortable. Her mating system is looking for a man who is open to his right brain. Well, how can she tell? When you have this open expansiveness, her mating system goes up. There's the guy right there. Your pupils are dilated. They're slightly pulled apart. Your awareness is dropped down inside. You have an expansive awareness instead of looking down that tube forehead to forehead. It is obvious. Once you open up, you'll see it. And this is what love is to a woman. This is how a woman can connect with you emotionally and understand you and have clarity in a relationship. And this is why narcissists do this to society, because they know if they can lock you on, you will be disconnected from yourself, and thus you can't connect with anyone else emotionally from your body, from your heart, from your solar plexus, in an expansive way. I am the narcissist community's #1 enemy because of what I'm teaching. And this is what I'm doing to you, is I bring your energy back inside you. Sometimes I'll even use my hand in an open, extended way to bring your awareness and your energy back inside your body, and then to expand it throughout your entire body and the energy field around you. This is how you heal, this is how you love, and this is how you understand. A lot of you are healing from my videos. Look back over the last 6 months, a year, 2, 3 years. The energy of my voice and of my heart and of my core energy is expressed through the video and into you. And as always, coaching and healing is available. God bless you guys. I hope to see you all one day over here. Maybe we'll take a trip across the Golden Gate Bridge. If these videos have helped you in any way, please click subscribe, click the like button, make a comment. And as always, there is a PayPal link right there in the description box if you want to go ahead and make a donation. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.